Hello everyone. Audit report shows Abia government paid 70 million naira into bank account of personal assistant to Governor Otti's wife for feeding in government house. I don't know how to say this. Let me repeat it and say this thing. Processing is very important in anything you're doing. Wherever position you find yourself in, please follow the process. There are certain things that you say, oh, this is easier to do this way, that way. It is not easier if it is not following the process. The process might be harder, but that's the way that it's supposed to be. This particular headline, as soon as I saw this headline, it reminded me of something. I'm going to talk about it. I've spoken about it before, but I'm going to talk about it again at the end of this video. It says Agnes Chigozie Njoku, the personal assistant on logistics to the wife of Abia State Governor, Mrs. Priscilla Otti, was paid 70 million naira by state government for what was tagged feeding in government house for the period of June to September 2023. A review of the state audit report for 2023 has shown. Payment into private accounts in Nigeria is against the country's financial regulations 2009. Even if that thing was used for what it was said to be used and everything, the moment you pay it into the personal account, that is a problem. And that is also called corruption. Everything must be followed. You must follow due process. You must go through this thing. It is bureaucratic, it is long, it is frustrating, it is annoying, but it has to be done. And that's why these processes are out there. Chapter 7, Section 713 of the regulations provides personal money shall in no circumstances be paid into a government bank account, nor shall any public money be paid into a private account. The report has also shown that 42.8 million was paid to the Deputy Chief of Staff as part payment for the renovation of the Deputy Governor's office. The total payment of 112.8 million was classified as wrong classification of expenditures in the audit report. The Constitution of Nigeria does not recognize the office of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, nor First Lady of any of the 36 states. I don't know why this is so difficult, honestly. And that was one of the things, that Peter Obi did when he was in office. He didn't have this office of the First Lady. It's not constitutional. Why are we spending money on some office, billions, sometimes this money is running to billions, on an office that is not constitutional? Yes, she's your wife of the governor. There are certain occasions she can be there as this man. Those are things, but not to have an office, not to be spending this money. You're using money to feed and all of that. Let's even say it's an office that is constitutional, like let's say it's the governor's office, like you also saw the one they talked about, the deputy governor. Why are you paying money in personal account? This is against the law. It shouldn't be done. Simple. Follow the process and go through it. Let them, when they've done everything, let them pay directly to the contractor, from the office of the audit, whatever it is. Let that be done. Earlier, Sahara reporters reported how the Abia State Commissioner for Environment, Philemon Osonye Ogbonya, also received the sum of 41.6 million naira into his personal account against fiscal laws. The money was meant for Abia Industrial and Innovative Park at Owoza Okwa West local government area. This contradicts the provisions of the Financial Regulation 809 in the state, as such payments are supposed to pass through proper vouching, documentation, and due process. This is the way it's going to be, because otherwise, if you start paying money to people's account, do you know who is going to eat what? And in doing this kind of thing, you can't say, oh, I trust this person, I know this person will. No, there's a process that checkmates all of that, and that's what accountability and transparency is supposed to be about. Follow the down process. Simple as A, B, C, and D. These things are not rocket science, you understand? Let me adjust my seat. I see. These things are not rocket science. Can you just kindly follow them? Another sum of 37.8 million naira was reportedly paid into the account of Alonze Kelechi C, a former permanent secretary in the state, and Obinna No Koma, who is the director of finance in the state. Governor Alex Otti has faced increasing criticism over lavish expenditure since his assumption of office. In February, a copy of the state's 2024 approved budget published by Sahara Reporters revealed that Otti's administration planned to spend 1.5 billion for the purchase of 2 number of Toyota Helios. I think they've come out to say that was a wrong decision, but hopefully they keep following. And for some people who feel angry or whatever, like Sahara Report, this is what newspapers are supposed to be doing. Newspapers are not supposed to be telling us about the government has done. Check anything that is any wrongdoing, go after it. That's the way it is. Eternal vigilance, they say, is a price you have to pay for democracy. You have to check, you have to use microscope and check and check and check. It's the onus also on the person who is being checked to ensure that they stay on track and they come out without any blemish. And so this is what democracy is actually about. A further analysis of the 2024 approved budget of the Abia state government also revealed that Otti allocated the sum of 5.8 billion for purchase of cars for himself, commissioners, permanent secretary, judiciary, and government house. I don't know why they keep purchasing these cars. We are too poor to be living this extravagant life. A car can have a life value of 40 years. Can you people stop buying this car? Use the old ones that are there. You don't have to be doing and running all over the place. After all, we don't even have good roads. Go jelly. Where are you running to? Government officials will be rushing with siren, rushing to go and do nothing in office. Because if you are really rushing to work, who would have been feeling the effect of all of this? So all of this buying of cars, please, let them stop. And I hope Governor Alex Otti takes this on these issues that are being pointed out, check them and ensure that they stop doing this thing. He can't be everywhere, but he remembers whatever is done in his administration is done in his administration. This is someone that I look forward to tomorrow, him running for president, him being there, being able to do this. The way Peter Obi will hit his chest and say, I've been there, go and check me, go and verify, use the SEC, there's nothing wrong. That's the way I want Alex Otti to be able to do that, and even more. So all of these things are not too good, out there. These are things that can literally be checked. Sahara Reporter is not saying that the money was not used for what is supposed to be used or whatever. What he's saying that the process has not been followed, and that due process, needs to be followed. There are a whole lot more on that conversation. Now back to the story that I said I was going to tell you at the end of this particular video. This particular thing I had during the what's it called now, the campaign funds that we manage. This particular issue came up, and what was the issue? There was problem with logistics. So what we had done was that the companies that did the bidding, it was a rigorous process. I had a time when someone whom I know came to me that, his name was on it. They had gotten to a particular stage that they dropped his name. Please, I shall say, sorry, I don't do that. I said, that's exactly what they do in government, that it's wrong, that we're trying to fix. If you didn't qualify for the next stage, they will drop your name, because I know you. I know there's one that is still angry with me because of that. Well, for me, I just do things the way they're supposed to be done. You don't need to like me, and it's okay. And so they followed all of this. So what we did was to give them the logistics money attached with the goods, because they were going to supply to all the local governments in Nigeria, 774 local governments. So every region, we had people who were doing this campaign materials for every different region. So that region you were in, you had to ensure you transfer them. It became a bit of a mess. The materials weren't going as fast as they should. So we had a meeting, because we're constantly the meetings we did during that time, only God knows, in the midnight or in the whatever, we're constantly meeting. So, and thank God it was Zoom, a Zoom or a virtual meeting. So we had a meeting, and we were looking at how do we ensure, so that, because people were asking for materials, and when we hear these materials were dragging. So at that meeting, it was approved that they should send money to my assistant. I have a personal assistant. They should send money to my assistant, pay money into her account, so that she will use it, because we were working. She was part of those working on all the project. It was agreed, because that was to make it easier. After the meeting, I was just thinking, I say, personal assistant. Say, it doesn't make sense. I say, how would my personal assistant, they've paid money. The next, hey, that would have been the headline now. All of these things, they say, I shall do this. I'm always like, come and see, everything is followed. I called for another meeting. I said, no, we won't do that. I said to me, I said, look, most of the things you see about corruption, they are not really corruption. When you see people that the people are, it's because they didn't follow the process. You can do the right thing, but because you didn't follow the process, just imagine Sahara reporters to put it, or People's Gazette, Aisha, 10 million naira also transfer to Aisha Yusufu's assistant. How would it look? Then I'll now start explaining, no, this is what we use campaign after election. Nobody will listen. So if you are in any post, any office or anything, you must be mindful, or you are in charge of any finances or whatever, be very mindful of processing. Process is extremely very important, and it's not something that anyone, should joke about. If it's your private money, I mean, if it's my private money, I do it anyhow, it's my money now. I mean, not as of I can send their money down to higher, be doing it. But when it comes to public funds, it must be accounted for judiciously, and you must not only be above board, but you must be seen to be above board. You must follow all the, the process. Just like I've said the story before, and I'm going to share it again here. When the bank manager on the day of election, because they needed to give me unlimited access to the funds, because I was supposed to, I keep telling people I'm the one that was in charge of paying what do you call it now, polling unit agents, and they wanted me to be sending money to bulky people. Send 300 million here, send 250 million, they sent 150 million. I said no. I said we are paying directly. And when we started paying, when we realized they were missing, I said, no, we're not going to pay. We keep the money. And that was exactly what they said. Some people don't like me for that. I don't take us out of my life. So on the day that they were doing that, he came to my house for us to check and verify it was working. And he said, oh, I should transfer, even if it's like 1,000 to my account, my own, so that we check the process. I said, oh, God, I'm not transferring. He said, it's just 1,000. I said, it's not just. When the headline will say, Aisha Yusufu transferred campaign funds to our account, then I'll now be coming around to be telling people that, oh, no, it's just 1,000 naira. When we were testing, I said, no. I said, we have to test it some other way. And that's exactly what we did. I think later on, there was some money that had been approved that we're going to pay to someone to the account. And that's what we ended up doing. So people, these things, public funds, one has to be extremely careful about it, more than you are with your own money. If I go to a place now and you ask me, and I ask, sometimes I won't even bother to ask how much is this food. I'll just pick it up, go to where they are selling it, give my card and pay. That's my money. But if it's public fund, I will ask how much is it. I will go to like four or five other places to find out which one is the cheapest, and then I will buy, because you must be judicious about using public fund. That's why on the campaign materials you buy. So some people are like, you got this thing so cheap. And I say, yes, we ask for the cheapest, and one of the criteria also, you might call it selfish, you might call it whatever, I don't know, you had to be obedient for us to do that work. So a lot of them were willing to do it at they were not looking at profits. Honestly, I would say that to the people that really we do those campaign materials. They were not looking at profit. They just wanted to do the work and have. So we got it very cheaply. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to this part, I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.